What if I told you that right now, sitting at home, with nothing but a laptop and free internet, you could start a business that costs you absolutely nothing to launch, and still has the potential to bring in real money before the end of 2026? No inventory. No employees. No office. No upfront investment of any kind. Sounds too good to be true, right? I thought so too, until I actually broke down exactly how people are doing this right now, and today I'm going to show you the entire thing, step by step. Welcome back to the channel. If you're someone who's tired of watching get-rich-quick videos that never actually explain anything useful, you're in the right place. Every week we break down real, doable business ideas you can actually start, without needing thousands of dollars or some special connection. So if that sounds like what you need, go ahead and subscribe, because today's idea might be one of the most accessible ones we've ever covered. Let's talk about why 2026 specifically is such a strange and powerful moment for this. AI tools that used to cost real money, tools that used to require technical skills to even operate, are now available for free, and they're good enough to produce work that looks genuinely professional. At the same time, more businesses than ever are open to working with remote freelancers they've never met in person, as long as the work gets done well. Put those two things together, and you get an environment where a single person, working from their bedroom, kitchen table, or a shared workspace, can offer services that used to require an entire team. So what exactly is this business? It's what I like to call a home-based AI service business, and the beauty of it is that it isn't just one rigid idea, it's a framework you can apply to several different services, depending on what you enjoy doing and what you're naturally decent at. Here are a few directions people are taking this in right now. Some are becoming AI-assisted virtual assistants, helping small business owners manage their emails, schedule appointments, and organize their day using free AI tools to draft responses and summarize information quickly. Others are becoming AI content creators for hire, producing blog posts, product descriptions, or social media content for businesses that don't have the time to write it themselves. Some are building simple AI chatbots for small websites, using free no-code tools to set up a basic assistant that answers common customer questions. And others are doing AI-powered resume and cover letter writing, helping job seekers polish their applications using tools that can analyze job descriptions and tailor documents accordingly. Notice something about all four of these: none of them require you to buy software, none of them require a business license to get started, and none of them require you to leave your house. You can literally start today, from your phone or laptop, without spending a cent. Now let's get into exactly how you start this with $0, broken down into clear steps you can follow in order. Step 1 is picking your lane. Don't try to offer every single service at once, that just confuses potential clients and makes you look unfocused. Pick one thing you can get good at quickly, something that matches skills you already have some comfort with, whether that's writing, organizing, or just being naturally good at explaining things clearly. Step 2 is learning your free tools inside and out. Whatever lane you pick, there's a free AI tool that can support it. Free versions of ChatGPT and Gemini can help with writing and organizing information. Free website builders and simple chatbot platforms can help you build basic automation. Spend a few days just experimenting, testing different prompts, and figuring out what gets you the best results the fastest. Step 3 is creating sample work before you have a single client. This is the part most people skip, and it's the part that actually gets you hired. Pick a fictional business, or even better, pick a real small business you admire, and create sample work for it. Write a sample email sequence. Build a sample chatbot flow. Draft a sample resume rewrite. This becomes proof of what you can do, even before anyone pays you for it. Step 4 is packaging that sample work into something shareable. You don't need a website. A single organized document or a free portfolio page is enough. List what you offer, show your samples, and keep your pitch short and clear. People decide fast whether they're interested, so don't overload this with unnecessary information. Step 5 is finding your first client through direct outreach. This is the step that actually determines whether this becomes real income or just an idea you never acted on. Look for small business owners, solo entrepreneurs, or even individuals who clearly need what you're offering. A local shop with no email system. A freelancer overwhelmed with client messages. A recent graduate struggling to write a resume that actually gets noticed. Reach out personally, mention something specific about their situation, and offer to help. Step 6 is starting with a low-cost or free first project to build trust and get a testimonial. I know this sounds repetitive if you've heard advice like this before, but there's a reason it keeps coming up: it works. That first testimonial becomes the single most valuable asset in your entire business, because it turns you from a stranger with zero track record into someone who has already helped a real person or business succeed. Now let's talk about what actually happens once this starts working, because a business idea only matters if there's a real way to make money from it. The first monetization path is straightforward hourly or per project pricing. You complete a specific task, like writing 5 product descriptions or setting up one chatbot flow, and you charge a flat fee for that specific deliverable. This is the easiest way to get your first few paying clients, because it feels low risk to them. The second path is monthly retainers. Once you've proven yourself with a client, you can offer an ongoing package, like handling their email inbox every week, or producing a set amount of content every month, for a fixed recurring fee. This is where real financial stability starts to build, because you're not constantly hunting for new clients, you have consistent income coming in. The third path is expanding into higher value services as your skills grow. Maybe you start with resume writing, but eventually add LinkedIn profile optimization. Maybe you start with simple chatbots, but eventually learn to connect them to actual booking or ordering systems. Each new skill increases what you're able to charge, without requiring you to spend money upfront to learn it, since most of these skills can be picked up through free tutorials and hands-on practice. The fourth and final path, once you're consistently busy, is bringing on help. You don't need to hire full-time employees, you can bring in other freelancers for specific projects, take a management fee, and effectively turn your one-person operation into a small home-based agency, still run entirely from wherever you're comfortable working. Now, some of you are probably wondering, why will this actually work in 2026 specifically, and not just be another oversaturated idea? Here's the honest answer. Small businesses and individuals are more overwhelmed than ever with digital tasks they don't have time for, but most of them still don't know how to use AI tools effectively themselves. That gap between people who need help and people who know how to actually use these tools well is still massive, and it's not closing anytime soon. On top of that, remote work has become completely normalized, so nobody thinks twice about hiring someone they've never met in person, as long as the results speak for themselves. That combination, real demand plus low competition from people who actually know what they're doing, is exactly the kind of window that makes a business idea worth pursuing right now, instead of waiting for some perfect future moment that may never come. Let me also address a few things people usually worry about before trying something like this. A lot of people assume they need to be tech experts to work with AI tools, but that's simply not true anymore. These tools are built to be used through plain, everyday conversation. You type what you want in normal language, and the tool figures out the rest. You get better at directing them the more you use them, the same way you get better at anything through repetition, not through some special technical background. Another common worry is time. People assume starting a business from home means quitting their job or dedicating every waking hour to it. That's not the case here. This entire framework can start as something you do for a few hours in the evenings or on weekends, while keeping your current income steady. Many people build this up slowly on the side until it grows enough to become their main source of income, and only then do they consider making it full-time. There's also the worry about not having any existing audience or following online. The good news is, you genuinely don't need one for this. This isn't about building a personal brand with thousands of followers, it's about directly reaching out to the specific people or businesses who need help, one conversation at a time. Some of the most successful home-based service businesses were built entirely through direct messages and personal outreach, without ever going viral or relying on an audience at all. It also helps to think about this in terms of stacking small wins. Your first client doesn't need to be a big win, it just needs to be a real one. Once you have that one success story, approaching the next potential client becomes noticeably easier, because you're no longer speaking hypothetically, you're speaking from actual experience. Each client after that adds to your confidence, your portfolio, and your pricing power, and that compounding effect is really where the long-term potential of this idea comes from. If you're the kind of person who likes having a clear starting point instead of vague motivation, here's a simple challenge. Pick one of the 4 service ideas we talked about today. Spend the next 2 days creating one solid sample piece of work using free AI tools. Then spend the following few days reaching out to just 5 potential clients, whether that's small businesses, freelancers, or individuals who clearly need the help. That's it, that's the entire starting motion, and it costs you nothing but time and effort. Before you go, let me be completely honest with you about something important. This isn't a lottery ticket. You're not going to message one business and wake up wealthy tomorrow. What this is a legitimate, low-risk starting point that removes every excuse related to money. You don't need capital, you don't need a fancy degree, and you don't need permission from anyone. What you actually need is consistency, sending messages even when people don't reply, improving your samples even when it feels slow, and treating this like a real business from day one, not just a side experiment you'll abandon after a week. If this video gave you some clarity, do me a favor and hit that like button, it genuinely helps this reach more people who need to hear it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time, because next week I'm breaking down exactly how to price your services so you're not underselling yourself when you land your first client. Drop a comment and let me know, which of these 4 service ideas would you actually try first? I read every single comment, and honestly, a lot of future videos come directly from what you all are curious about. That's it for today. See you in the next one, keep learning, keep building, and I'll catch you next time.